Okay, that was sick. This thing rips so hard. Okay, get a hold of yourself now. Boys, it's a big day here on the Car Passion channel. Once in a blue moon, there exists a video on my channel where some major system has been installed on the car, or an engine has been built for the car for the first time, and it's got to be tested out. And it's either going to be glorious or it's going to spit its rods all over the freeway. But either way, it's going to be fun and it's all going to be okay. So today is one of those days I'll be I'll be testing the all-new NITROUS system that has just been installed into the NB. Finally, after like 2 years or something like that. I know, it's been a while, but look, it's done now so we can experience this together. I got the bottle filled already about 4 days ago. Haven't even cracked it open yet. Haven't even done a test purge. As much as I wanted to, I haven't done it yet because I always want to, film the first time doing something just in case it all goes to crap. I want to experience it together with you guys. You've waited so patiently for this, so we're gonna do some street tuning on some NITROUS today. What do you say we jump into the video? Let's go. Check it out, dudes. Just over 1,000 PSI of Cappuccino, ready to rock and roll. The only mechanical change that I'm gonna make right now, I am gonna change the spark plugs to the spark plugs that I typically put into Miatas once they are turbocharged. BKR 7Es. Now there is a chance that I've already installed these. I really don't remember. I might even have to go to an 8 or a 9, which is an even colder spark plug. But for the size shot that I'll be testing today, 7s will be just fine. Oh, BKR 5E, so these are 5s. That's a hot plug, so we're gonna go a little bit colder on the plug. That 5 right there is your heat range, and the more power you have, the colder you need to go on your plug. So let's get these swapped out to 7s and continue on. Now over on the tuning side, since this is a wet NITROUS system, there's really not that much to be done. In fact, if I was on a stock ECU, I wouldn't really be doing anything, but since I do have a standalone, there are a couple things I want to set up. Now, as I talked about in the installation video, this will be an ECU triggered system, so I do need to tell the ECU when I want the NITROUS to activate. So I'm in the Motorsport Electronics software here, and since I'm using the water injection module to trigger the NITROUS, under the IO setup tab, just need to make sure that water injection is selected under the correct pin that I have it wired into. And then under water injection, I will enable it. I want the NITROUS to be triggered at 4,700 RPM and above 85% throttle. Now these are very preliminary settings and they could change when it comes to the actual dyno day, so I'll keep you guys updated in case I make any tweaks. The only other thing I want to do is come over to mapping. Now this is just a base map that I loaded up since I'm just on my laptop, not actually in my car, just FYI. I can see the 4,600 RPM column, and I'm gonna take these timing values all the way up to redline, which my redline's 7,400, and I'm just gonna take 8 degrees off the timing map. Yes, it is super conservative, but better safe than sorry. So now just in the area where NITROUS will be triggered, I've taken the timing out of the map to make it extra safe, and we are ready to take this thing onto the streets. I forgot to mention also, I have the 35 horsepower jet in the NITROUS nozzle and the appropriate fuel jet to go with it. It really should be able to take full ignition timing on that small of a shot, but I want to be extra safe. On the naturally aspirated side, I'm probably only losing maybe 4 or 5 horsepower by pulling that much timing out of it. So it should still be like a net 30 horsepower gain or so. Should be able to feel it. And the main point of today is just to make sure the system is working. And of course I want to feel just a little bit of that juice, okay? And yeah. The dyno is where I'll be pushing it a little bit harder, but today we're just gonna take it out, do some street tuning, and have fun with it. Well boys, Too Soon Jr. is no longer the soon-to-be NITROUS Miata, but it is now the NITROUS-powered Miata, and we're getting ready to spray for the first time ever. Super exciting. First thing I wanna do is crack that bottle open. We're cracking open a cold one with the boys, and the best kind of cold one, 1,000 PSI worth of cold one. So I want to crack that thing open, check for leaks. We'll hit the purge, see what that looks and sounds like. And speaking of sounds, I have the engine bay mic set up. So when I'm out there spraying, we'll get to see how fast and furious it really sounds, or if we can even hear anything. But yeah, let's just jump into it. Pressure's actually quite a bit higher because of how hot it is outside today. I have no idea when the pressure relief valve goes off, but it hasn't gone off, so I guess we're all right. That's just under 1200. Anyways, let's crack this thing open. Yo. Well, this is it, boys. I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. All I have left to do is go out there and floor it. So I guess let's go do a pull. Alright, I gotta pull over. Hold on. Okay, that was sick. Number one, it comes on like a light switch, okay? I didn't think it would be like instant like that. I thought like, I'm picturing like a fog coming into the intake manifold as more of like a little bit more gradual. At 4,700 RPM, it was like the horsepower turned on. Someone flipped the switch and now the car's fast. So that was super sick. A little bit of a concerning issue when the nitrous was active, when I turned my activation switch on. When I was sitting at a stop, it like spritzed the nitrous for a second and the idle raised up. Well, I'm sure you heard it in the video, or I'll play it right now. So that's weird. I don't know if that's like a grounding issue or something, but kind of concerning. Other than that, it worked flawlessly. Sounded good. I'm gonna go look at the log right now. I think I just did second and third gear. I can't even remember. I'm like so hyped up right now. I'm gonna take a look at the data log, see how the AFRs looked, see how everything looked, and then, I don't know, I guess I'll try to do another little run, and I'll probably have to troubleshoot that issue later or something. I don't know. I can't even think right now. I can't even talk. So I know this is like impossible to see anything, but that's second gear right there. That's third gear. Down below, the green line is AFR, so middle of third gear, right in the heat of nitrous, 11.2, so pretty rich, but pretty safe. And you can see there's a bit of a spike, so looks like the nitrous hits a split second before the fuel is coming in, maybe is what that's from, but tiny bit of a spike, not really a big deal. Again, we're dealing with a very low horsepower shot here, but as soon as the fuel comes in, bam, we're in the low 11s. So looks like the jetting is definitely safe to be testing out here. And yeah, what do you say we go do another pull? Dude, I'm gonna say right now, nitrous is a very interesting experience. Oh my God. It's like you get an instant engine swap. I hope it comes through in the video because, man, oh man, that's cool. And this is the smallest jet available. People who run like real nitrous systems are like,
this guy's flipping out over a 35 shot.
The car probably has like 170 horsepower right now on spray, but man, so cool when just something completely comes together, like it all pays off. But of course we're not done yet. I am still going to go do a virtual dyno pull on nitrous and off nitrous so I can overlay the graphs. And I think that's really about it today. Probably go do a couple more pulls, but this baby's ready for the dyno. And at that point, I'll probably upgrade, well, at least to a 50 shot, maybe a 75 shot. I don't know. We'll kind of see how the day goes, how much power the car's making. And yeah, so quick little update. I figured out what was making the nitrous do like a tiny little spray when I was at a stop. I checked down in the footwell and where I had my like little bundle of wires zip tied up out of the way, for some reason it came loose. The nitrous switched ground wire, the one that goes to the ECU, made its way behind the clutch pedal. When I was pushing the clutch pedal down, it was grounding that wire. So luckily it was an easy fix and there's no like weird electrical gremlins going on. So yeah, again, very important to pay attention and try to do a good job with your wiring. Like I always say, I'm no professional. I'm just like anyone out there, novice car building person, and we all make mistakes. So luckily that was a simple one, got it fixed up, and we should be good to go. So let's sit down and take a closer look at the data that was collected on some of these runs, starting with what I'm most curious about, which is the virtual dyno. Now I guess I shouldn't be too surprised here, but I think it's pretty cool that it's showing a peak gain of exactly 35 wheel horsepower from the 35 horsepower nitrous jet. And it's quite obvious where the nitrous is coming on here and giving the engine an instant boost of power. But let's look at the numbers a little closer. It's still only making 157, which, considering this is a full bolt-on VVT engine with a square top tuned on 91 octane, it should be able to make at least 135 without the power adder. One cause for this is certainly that as soon as the nitrous kicks on, the air to fuel ratio is dropping into the low 10s, which is super rich and definitely sacking some power. But on top of that, compared to the research that I did, I pulled a ridiculous amount of ignition timing out of the tune compared to the common recommendations. I ended up retarding the timing by about 8 degrees for a 35 horsepower shot, and most tuning articles recommend removing 1 to 3 degrees per 50 horsepower of nitrous. So I pretty much removed enough timing for like 250 horsepower worth of nitrous and then installed a 35 horsepower jet. Now, I'm all about being safe, but that's definitely overkill. If I overlay the engine's best ever pull from when it was running full ignition timing, you can see how much power it was making, 138 compared to 122. A bump in ignition timing will also help burn some of that extra fuel, so it should help shape up that AFR curve a bit too. So I took the car out for a few more pulls, and on video, they look just like the ones that you've already seen, so there's no reason to put all these pulls in and make the video longer for nothing. But the major takeaway is this. Here's a no nitrous run with most of the ignition advance added back into the tune. And here's what a run looks like with the spray. A 20 horsepower difference after correcting the AFR and timing, which I believe this is still a very safe tune considering how small the shot is. And this thing is showing 177 now, and you can feel it big time. Now keep in mind that this is virtual dyno, so it's not perfect, and I did have a couple other runs showing closer to 165, which is honestly more realistic, but I had to flex that peak run anyways. Here's a second through fourth gear pull off the nitrous, followed by the same pull with nitrous active. Now, although it is noticeable on video, it's not really that much of a difference, so I'm gonna overlay those two clips now and you can see them on top of each other to watch that nitrous shine. This thing rips so hard. I thought for sure with like an intake fogger injection style, there'd be like some lag between gears because the nitrous shuts off like between the shifts. It is legitimately instant power. The thing feels like it's got a V6 in it. It's incredible. Here we go. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, I can't get over it. This thing just feels like it's gonna destroy just with a 35 shot. I'm so happy right now. Oh my god, it's all worth it. Can you imagine just going to a 50 shot, how much harder this thing's gonna rip? Okay, get a hold of yourself now. You don't need to push it too hard, okay? We're gonna keep the rods in the motor on this one, please. I was curious to see how much I've used, so it's still at 1100 PSI. Assuming the tank is the same temperature as when I checked it like an hour ago, which I would think it probably is, I don't know. It went from about 1200 to 1100 PSI. I did like 6 or 7 pulls and a bunch of purging. I thought I was gonna blast through it like super fast. I was scared because this thing was like 120 bucks to fill, but I still have an absolute ton left, so that's rad. The gap is ready to go for next time. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I legitimately think this entire process could not have gone any better so far. I don't want to jinx it, but I do believe it's also good to have confidence. The next thing is to take it to the dyno, and I got a full bag of danger nozzles to install on that bad boy. So we'll see where I take it. I don't want to push it too far, but I know the thing's definitely got more in it than where it's at right now. It feels incredible, as you saw from the previous clips, and I'm just stoked. So don't forget to smash that like button if you did learn something today, if you did enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.